Well, it is the 27th of May today, and if you are following my videos, this is exactly 1 month since I started rebuilding this greenhouse. And if you remember on part 2, I was over here saying I'm going to dig a hole and put this post stand right here. Well, you know, as I was building this, sometimes I get in a hurry, and sometimes I don't film a lot of things because, well, I'll get to that later and whatever, you know. And so I thought what I'd do today is kind of do an overall how much progress I've made. And it has been 30 days since I started this. And if you remember on part 2, the old greenhouse was still standing here, and I was just putting this in. There's still a little piece of it here. As you can see back here, that little piece of plywood back there. That's still standing because that provides a little wall for my chickens. I'm standing in the chicken run right now, and I had to put this wall up first before I could tear this greenhouse down, because the greenhouse was kind of acting as a barrier for the chickens in their little chicken run. But let me go through and show you what I've done. As you can see, I've got this wall up here, and that's just standard roofing material, and I've got the framing all done. Now what I still... Okay, we've moved to the inside of the greenhouse, and as you can see, the old greenhouse, all of it is gone now, and that took a few days to do that. It was a lot of work, but it's all gone. And as you recall, these are the posts. This one here, there's one of the posts, and there's the other ones. And what we did was we put those in the ground with a little post hole digger, and then I ran some boards across there for something to nail against or something to fasten against. And then we put the pressure-treated lumber along the bottom, and then we put the first rail up. Now what I did to level, if you remember, I had that little here's how to level things. And we found that this post right here, after I got done putting it all in, this was the tallest one. So we figured, well, let's make that one the standard, and we'll make all the other posts that tall. So you see the way we've done that is we have put little spacers on the top of each one to make them as tall as that one over there. And when you're all done, if we back up here and look at this, you can see that what that does for us is we get a nice straight line across there. And that's where our roof rafters are going to sit, and that's where they're sitting now. And you see I've done the same things to the second row here. You can see there's a spacer here, and I put that in to give us the right pitch on this roof. And then I've done it to this one over here. And as you can see, the spacer on this one is quite a bit taller. But what we've had to do was use that leveling technique, and here's the mark right there. We used that leveling technique to figure out how tall to do each one, and we had to custom cut each one of those top braces to get it to be exactly right. And then on this other end, where the roof slopes down again, you can see the basic structure. It's kind of an offset roof with a pitch kind of offset to one side. Then the next thing we did was we built these rafters. You can't really buy economically a 20-foot or an 18-foot 2x4, so I built them, and these are the splices in between. And as you can see, the splices rest pretty well right on top of that center post right there, so I think we're going to get good support out of that. And then they go up here, and they're fastened up here. From the old greenhouse, you can see the outline. See, there's the old greenhouse outline, and I've got a piece of it left, and that's merely to make a wall for the chicken run. But as you can see, this isn't that much bigger. It's maybe a foot wider, a couple of feet wider, but because the walls are straight, there's a lot more room in here to grow things. We go down this end, and This end here is where, you might have a little height restriction. But even me, this is this distance here is a couple of 3-4 inches from my head anyway, and then it goes up. So I can walk around anywhere in here. And this is going to be good. Now this isn't that costly, but it's probably a little more expensive than a hoop house. But like I say, I had a hoop house here before, and it worked really good. It lasted about 7 years, and I want this one. I'm getting a little older now, and I don't want to rebuild this again, because a hoop house, you are going to put new plastic on it every 5 or 6 years if you're doing good, and that's quite an undertaking, and I don't want to do that again. I want to build this and have it permanently stay there. Well, anyway, that's an update for today, and this is 1 month into the building process, and let's go back here to get a little better perspective. I've been doing this for 1 month, and I only can work on it 2-3 hours a day, but in 1 month, that's not bad progress. It's coming along fine, and I'm pretty satisfied with the progress so far. And I've only spent buying lumber and stuff and reusing what I've got probably about $600 maybe on the whole thing so far. And the real expense is going to be when I put the plastic on. I think the plastic is going to cost maybe $1,000, but I'll keep you posted on that and how we do it. But anyway, there it is. There's the update for the 27th of May. Exactly 1 month from actually starting the rebuild process, and this is where we are.